Guys, we just got a lot of answers to a lot of different questions for Suicide Squad. Some questions were pretty big and some other questions not so much. But the very end of the Q&A is by far the best part of the entire thing, guys. They revealed something big and I dropped my jaw when I saw it. One of the very first questions asked was, could you guys elaborate more on the possibilities of builds for the characters? They did give a pretty detailed explanation. The full answer is right here for you guys. You can pause it if you want to, but if I'm being honest, it's honestly just too much to say in this one time. But there is one thing he said here that is kind of big that I want to tell you. They just started talking about Afflictions and they straight up confirmed one of the villains that is going to be tied to one of the Afflictions. Right here, guys, it says Livewire Bolt. Guys, the villain for Superman, Livewire, is confirmed to be one of the villains who is tied to one of the 4 Afflictions in the game. We also see Deep Freeze again, guys. It's either Captain Cold or Mr. Freeze or whatever other ice villain you're thinking of. We got Diablo Blaze, guys. Yes, El Diablo from Suicide Squad 2016. That Diablo is confirmed to be for the Affliction. And then we also have Venom Frenzy. Yes, guys, Venom, clearly it's going to be Bane. We know that Bane is going to be tied to the gear sets, but it looks like he's finally confirmed to be tied into the Afflictions as well. I predicted that these 4 villains were going to be the villains that were going to be confirmed to be tied into the certain Afflictions for the game. I predicted all of this in my other video talking about Afflictions and gear sets. Go watch the video if you guys want to. But yes, guys, one more thing that they did say that I did feel like was worth mentioning was them talking about the 6 weapon types for the games. They got assault rifles, pistols, sniper rifles, shotguns, SMGs, and heavy weapons. I guess heavy weapons is in the category of miniguns and LMGs. I just wanted to remind you guys of all the 6 weapons in the game. One of the next questions they answered was, is there a tier above Notorious? Yes, guys, there is a weapon rarity called Notorious, and here's all of the weapon rarities right now. There's common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, Notorious, and infamy sets. Notorious gear sets are some of the rarest and, in my opinion, coolest items in the game. All of them are themed after DC villains. I actually do have a picture for you guys showing you the Notorious gear sets and what villains are going to be tied into them. Guys, take a look. We got a bunch of different logos here. It looks like we have Hugo Strange as one of them, Bizarro as another one. Is that Malcolm Merlin in the bottom left? There's a Black Mask right there. A bunch of these other logos. I can't tell who it is right off the top of my head, but maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. I just realized while editing this, one of them is definitely Two-Face. I can't believe I didn't realize that as soon as I saw it. So yeah, it's very cool to see Two-Face is confirmed as one of the villains. But like one of the developers said, guys, Infamy sets is the strongest gear set you can get in the game. It's apparently meant to gain unique effects from the pieces of gear sets you have equipped and are designed to synergize with legendary and Notorious gear sets. And yes, guys, as it said in this paragraph right here, I'm not going to read the full thing, but just the beginning. At the beginning of this paragraph, they said how they removed gear score from the game. I'm pretty sure, not 100%, but pretty sure that some people did have an issue with gear score in the game when it got announced, but it looks like Rocksteady finally got rid of that. So if any of you guys had a problem with it, nothing to worry about now. One of the next questions was, are there any plans past characters reaching their max levels, like a prestige system or something like that down the line? They do confirm saying that level 30 is the max level, but they also say once level 30 is reached on a squad member, you will unlock squad talent. They did give a very lengthy and detailed answer to this question, but guys, I'm so sorry. Because I'm a dumb fuck who failed kindergarten, I'm not gonna read all of this for you guys. It's just too much and too overwhelming to read. I don't want you guys to get bored from this. If you really want to read this entire answer, you can pause the video. You're more welcome to. This next thing they say, though, is actually pretty cool to see. They say if you are playing on single player, we also have our psyched up feature, where a certain squad member will be psyched up for a specific mission. One of the examples is Boomerang has a lot of history with Penguin, and when you recruit Penguin for Waller, he's psyched up to get to see Pengo again, but unfortunately, Penguin doesn't remember Boomerang at all. So guys, with a certain character being psyched up for this mission and that mission, I think this is basically trying to tell us that you should play as this character for this mission. For example, we know that Deadshot and Green Lantern have some problems in the past, so if we were about to fight Green Lantern, it's probably best to play Deadshot because he's the person who you're meant to play against Green Lantern. Another one is finding Poison Ivy. You'd probably want to be playing as Harley for that mission. Harley's probably going to be psyched up because Harley and Poison Ivy know each other. The other people don't know Poison Ivy. Harley knows Poison Ivy. Maybe another one is for the Flash's boss fight. For the Flash's boss fight, Captain Boomerang is probably going to be psyched up because that is, the Flash's villain. Captain Boomerang is the villain for the Flash, so you want to play Captain Boomerang versus the other people. They also tell us, if you play as a psyched up squad member, that character does extra damage and takes less damage, and will also gain a massive XP boost from the mission. One of the next questions is asking, will there be free roam? Will there be collectibles after you complete the game? They say yes, there is going to be free roam. There will also be side missions, enemies patrolling the city, iconic Metropolis landmarks, and plenty of hidden Easter eggs for you to find. They also do confirm that collectibles are in the game, yes, and the person giving away these collectibles is the Riddler himself. Guys, Riddler is in this game, this son of a bitch from all the 4 Arkham games. This motherfucker was the reason that we had hundreds of riddles to do in all of the past Arkham games, but don't worry about this game, guys. We can talk about the alpha now. I played the alpha, and apparently there's not that many stuff for Riddler you can do in Metropolis. If I counted correctly, there's apparently something like 40-ish 60-ish something things to do with a Riddler? The easy answer is there is less than 100 things you can do with a Riddler. You can do these AR parkour courses, and you can get a bunch of free rewards and outfits from completing them. You got all of the Riddler trophies are back, guys. Yeah, so there's a bunch of Riddler trophies you can be collecting through the city. Some of you may like that, some of you may not, but be happy it's not in the hundreds like it was in the past Arkham games. Oh, but this next question though, guys, this is a big question in my opinion. It's not a big question, but I guess it's a big answer. What is it? They say, will we see the environment change as the seasons progress? They do say yes to this question, but they say something else about how Brainiac has the ability to phase in portions of other worlds. So when they mean other worlds, I don't know what they mean by that. Do they mean other worlds as in the planets of the solar system like Mars and Jupiter and Venus and all that? Or do they mean worlds as in Earths, other earthly worlds from within the multiverse? I'm not exactly sure which one they're referring to, but if I had to guess, it looks like they're going to be talking about the multiverse option with all of the Earths and all the worlds, other Earth 3, Earth 4, all these other Earths. So guys, if this actually does end up being the case, which it sounds likely at this point, especially with what's going to be said at the end of the video, this is kind of just confirming that there's going to be a multiverse theory in this game, meaning that the Justice League we kill in this game are possibly evil doppelgangers from another Earth. It's not any the real Justice League being brainwashed. It's not the, what is it, Brainiac cloning the real Justice League. It looks like it's possibly going to be the theory of evil Justice League members from other Earths within the multiverse. They say the thing of how Brainiac apparently has some control of putting other worlds into our world. So guys, I don't know what else that could sound like. That really does sound like a multiverse theory. We have two more things, guys. We have the very last question to talk about for the Q&A, and then we have the big news that got revealed at the end of the Q&A as well. The last question is, what will Endgame be like? They do give a pretty detailed answer, but I want to talk about the answer that is halfway through this question. Look at this paragraph, look halfway through and a bit to the left. It says right here, but that doesn't mean that Brainiac is just going to sit back and let you go head to head with his forces without throwing a spanner in the works, or that you know what's going to happen in each mission. Brainiac keeps evolving his forces throughout Endgame, and you'll have to adapt your builds to match this. Guys, do you hear what they just said? They essentially just confirmed that Brainiac is going to survive by the end of the game's story. Brainiac apparently survives the very end of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. He's going to be a villain, one of the main villains, one of the side villains, whatever. For all the post-launch content, all the endgame content, he is going to be alive and kicking at the end of this game's story. Guys, I predicted this was going to happen in one of my last videos talking about the possible death of Brainiac. I expected him to survive because this game is live service, of course, and I'm actually kind of happy he's alive because if we get a Superman game from Rocksteady in the future, I'd love to see Brainiac come back in one of those games. And now for the very last big piece of information that was revealed at the very end of the Q&A. Guys, this was crazy to see. I dropped my jaw. It looks like a lot of different people are talking about this. Guys, here it is, guys. We got our first look at what the very first season of post-launch content is going to look like for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is the very first season, and by the looks of this image, this is apparently some Joker Funland, guys. So guys, this image is confirming a lot of different things. This is apparently Joker Funland. This is the very first season of the post-launch content. We're getting a new villain to play as for each season. Guys, look at this. Look at all the clown emojis and all the different emojis that was teased for this game. This is clearly going to be a DLC for Joker. Guys, apparently, by the looks of it, Joker is the very first DLC character we are going to get for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in the very first season, with this being his map. This is what Metropolis is going to look like. This is also teasing the multiverse theory. Why would Metropolis look like this, guys? I played the alpha. This is not what Metropolis looked like. This is what it's going to look like. Guys, the whole thing I said earlier in the video about Brainiac bringing in other worlds and all that from the multiverse, this is probably what it's going to look like, guys. The multiverse theory is true. And Joker being the first DLC character we're getting for the game, guys, that also matches up with the other information I saw a few weeks ago saying that one of the DLC characters for the game is going to be Joker from another Earth, from within the multiverse. Arkhamverse Joker is dead, but this Joker that we're seeing, who's going to be the very first playable character, this Joker is apparently from another Earth. This is his world coming to us. We get to play as this version of Joker from Earth 2, Earth 3, whatever. Guys, the multiverse theory, it looks like it really is true. The evil Justice League, they're probably going to be evil doppelgangers from another Earth. So all this stuff confirming the multiverse and the first launch season and the first DLC character, guys, holla fucking Luya.